Right now on Denver 7 News at 7 o'clock on Local 3, it is a Denver 7 weather action day because the snow has moved out, but there are still some icy roads sticking around for the commute this morning.
Yeah, so our team is out on the roads to give you a preview. We have Veronica and Christian in different parts of the metro. Of course, we're going to check in with Jason. A lot of crashes out there already this morning.
Yeah, and there have been a lot of spin outs, slide offs. People are just going way too fast, and then they're hitting. It looks clear, it does, but you'll hit that ice and boom, you're done.
Oh yeah, I slowed down a lot this morning, Lisa, and we might get another round here. We're gonna, right?
Yeah, midweek. That's what I look like.
White knuckle driving.
We have another storm midweek, so today into tomorrow we're going to get a brief break in between the snow. Take a look at some of the totals though from over the weekend. Over a foot there in Genesee, Golden just over 8 inches, Castle Rock in Denver right around 5, and then 4.1 out at the airport. So you're going to find plenty of snow still on the ground. We'll be under a partly sunny sky later today, so enjoy that little bit of sunshine we're seeing. Some single digits to low teens right now. It's a pretty chilly start to our Monday morning. It's going to feel like about 5 to near 15 degrees below zero. There will be a very slight chance for a few light snow showers to roll east later today, so we might see a little late afternoon, early evening. Highs are going to be right around freezing. It'll warm up a bit more tomorrow with 40s, and then we're right back into the 30s with that next storm. And I'll show you what we're expecting, how much snow we may see midweek coming up, Jason, in just a few minutes.
And right now we have problems, unfortunately, galore around town. I want to show you some of the conditions that we have. You see a lot of crashes here and there, including I-25 in Bellevue. We have 225 down here at Iliff. We have one reported now on 225 right near 17th and Colfax. Been looking for that. This is southbound I-25 at Santa Fe. There's the left and right side all blocked up. So unfortunately, all kinds of crashes. We also have a bad one. Take a look up to the north on the map here this morning on westbound I-76 right near 120th. Air Tracker 7 is over it. And what you see here is 1, 2, see the tracks, 3 trucks over there into the ditch now. And so the right lane is blocked on the westbound side of I-76, trying to get past 120th, so down to 104th. You can see on the travel time right now, it's at half an hour at least. Highway 85 is open if you want to use that down to I-76. So it is really busy, and obviously a lot of these spots where we have crashes, including one on Santa Fe involving a garbage truck northbound Santa Fe right at Hamden. Down over here at I-25 Lincoln Avenue behind me, that's where Veronica Acosta has been hanging out. She's been driving through Lone Tree, Littleton, Englewood, all around town here this morning. So what are the conditions like for you down there?
So take a look at this on-ramp. This is, like you mentioned, I-25 South on Lincoln. Take a look at the actual on-ramp. All morning long, we were talking about how both those on-ramps and off-ramps, they're the icy, tricky spots. But as the sun starts coming up, we're seeing some of that ice melt slowly but surely, and we're going to take on the highway here in 2 seconds, so you can take a look at that. But some of those icy conditions are getting just slightly better because that sunlight is coming up off to the shoulders. You see that's where most of that snowpack is, and most of really that ice. On some of these merging lanes, no longer too icy, so that's no longer a concern. And these vehicles, they seem to be keeping their speeds. We're going probably the fastest we've been all morning long, 52 miles an hour now. You are getting a bit of that kickback from some of these vehicles like this truck we have in front of us. So windshield wipers might start coming in handy at this time of the day, especially once that ice and some of that snow start melting off. So something to keep in mind as the morning goes on. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Veronica. Well, our team coverage continues with Denver 7's Christian Lopez.
And Christian's along Federal this morning. How are things looking behind you at Alameda and Federal?
Yeah, Nicole, we've been driving around all morning, keeping a close eye on those road conditions for you guys. And traffic is starting to pick up here on Federal and Alameda as people are starting to head into work and school this morning. And you can see, for the most part, drivers are pretty comfortable going the speed limit. When we were driving around, we were able to go about 30, 35 miles an hour. So for the most part, traffic is flowing pretty well. You can see that the roads are pretty slick. I mean, most of the snow is gone, but they are still wet. Not overly icy though. We have been seeing some of those trouble icy spots that we've been telling you all morning that are definitely can be deceiving. So definitely watch out for those as you're headed out this morning. But overall, it hasn't been too bad. But roads are definitely slick, so take your time as you head out this morning. We're going to continue driving around and monitor these conditions for you guys to let you know what to expect as you head out. We're live in Denver. I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
A lot of people taking it slow, just walking around too. All right, thank you, Christian. Well, the snow led to 2 serious crashes over the weekend across the metro. Police say 15 cars piled up, closing down part of northbound I-225 for more than an hour last night. This is the view from the CDOT camera at the time. The crash happened at Iliff Avenue, just south of Mississippi. 5 people were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. The highway reopened around 10:30 last night. Earlier in the day, at least 50 cars were involved in 6 different pileups along I-25 northbound at University Boulevard. Started around 3:30 yesterday. The fire department says there were only minor injuries reported, so good news there. You can get weather and traffic updates anytime, though, by downloading the free Denver 7 Plus app to your streaming device.
This morning, Russian forces are pushing into major Ukrainian cities, disrupting evacuation efforts. Just minutes from now, leaders from both sides are expected to meet once again to discuss access to humanitarian aid. But Russian troops have already broken their safety promises twice. Here's ABC's M. Wynn.
Overnight, Russia declaring a ceasefire to open humanitarian corridors temporarily for civilian evacuations from Kyiv and other major cities. But there's skepticism, as Russia previously violated its own pledge for ceasefire in recent days. This comes amid a dire warning from Ukrainian President Zelensky about Russia's latest plan to use high-precision weapons to destroy Ukrainian military-industrial facilities, saying hundreds of thousands of people live and work there. This will be a premeditated murder. The State Department confirming credible reports that Russia is deliberately targeting civilians in Ukraine. The Wall Street Journal reporting Russia is recruiting Syrians to join the fight, hoping their expertise in urban combat can help take Kyiv, Ukraine's capital. The onslaught of fighting intensifying as Russian forces encircle cities like Mariupol, where evacuations halted this weekend due to intense shelling by Russian forces. Already more than 1.5 million people have fled Ukraine, with at least 1 million to Poland.
Most of them are just very, very tired, terrified, and confused because they don't know what to expect.
In less than a week, the U.S. and NATO have ramped up efforts to help Ukraine. The New York Times reports more than 17,000 anti-tank weapons have crossed the border into Kyiv and other major cities. Nearly $350 million worth of advanced weapons have arrived in record time. The Times report also saying the U.S. is providing real-time intelligence to Ukraine, cybersecurity support, and a secure connection between Zelensky and President Biden. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says the U.S. is in active discussions with European allies about banning Russian oil, although no decision has been made yet. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
A real estate agency with offices here in Colorado is trying to help children who have had to flee their homes in Ukraine. Realty One Group is holding a toy drive. You can fill a shoebox with toys and drop it off at their locations in Denver and Lone Tree today or tomorrow. They'll ship the boxes to Nevada and then from there to a partner in Poland who will distribute them.
3, 2, 1, launch! Wow!
Oh my gosh, so cold. Our weekend weather, though, didn't stop our Denver 7 team and others from jumping in the icy pool at Washington Park yesterday for the Polar Plunge, which definitely lived up to its name this year. Denver 7 is a proud sponsor of the Plunge and the 5K event to support Special Olympics Colorado. The group is raising money for its 15,000 athletes across the state. You just have to keep the good vibes in mind as you jump into the water. And Jason, you cannonballed in, right? You got everyone else wet too.
If you don't know this about me, one of my stupid human tricks is really a excellent jackknife, and I can splash with the best of them. That is for sure. Right now, southbound on 225, you see this crash right there by Iliff, still causing delays. The northbound side, we've had a wreck up by Colfax. We have new crashes coming into the west side of town along 285 near Wadsworth, Sheridan, and also one at Kipling and Alameda. So a lot of new crashes here this morning as more people are hitting these roadways. We'll take a look at more conditions in just a minute.
Well, our cold weather might have you itching for a warmer vacation. What you need to know, though, before you book a spring break trip. And saying I do could cost you a lot more in the new year. How inflation is hitting happy couples and guests next.